Nukin here with another Galaxy Heroes episode, and I hope everyone had a great Father's Day. I'm excited to showcase Range Trooper 2, guys. So we had a bunch of light side scoundrel characters. Now it's time for some dark side characters. Range Trooper is an Imperial Trooper who's going to help improve your Imperial Trooper squad, or he's going to help you to spread yourself out a little bit better in territory wars. He's also great in the Sith raid against Darth Sion in Phase 2 or Phase 4. What we're going to do in this video, I'm going to cover his kit really fast, then we're going to go over some arena battles, and then we'll also look at some impressive Sith raid footage that I've recorded for you guys. So let's just get right into it. So let's jump into this guy's kit. This is Range Trooper, the Dark Side Empire Imperial Trooper support hero. He's an aggressive Empire support that provides other Imperial Trooper allies with assist chance. He has a basic ability, a special, and a unique. He has no Zetas. We'll cover the Omegas after we review his kit. Let's talk about his unique ability first. Range Trooper's unique is called Power in Numbers. Range Trooper has 70% tenacity, and this is the ability that allows the Imperial Troopers basically to be called to assist. So there's going to be a 50% chance to call another buffed Imperial Trooper ally whenever they use an ability during their turn. That damage is going to be reduced by 20%, but it's very cool that now there's going to be a lot more assist mechanics with the Imperial Troopers when you have this guy on the team. Range Trooper's basic ability is called Take Aim, and so it deals physical damage to the target enemy, and it also will deal bonus damage, 30% more damage if Range Trooper is currently buffed. And finally, the last ability to talk about here is his special. It's called Steady, and it has a cooldown of 3, and there are some Empire and then Imperial Trooper ally specific components here. I'll talk about the differences. First of all, he's going to call another random ally to attack, and then he's going to assist them. Now, specifically, all Empire allies are going to get the Protection Up buff, 40% for 3 turns, and then also Imperial Trooper allies specifically are going to recover 30% of their protection and gain the Retribution Up buff for 3 turns. Now, Imperial Trooper allies are also Empire, so they will be getting the Protection Up, but if you're going to use this guy with maybe Thrawn, who's like not an Imperial Trooper, he won't be gaining the Retribution or the Protection recovery. So we just went over his kit, and like I mentioned before, he doesn't have any Zetas, but he does have some Omegas here. So if you're going to Omega his unique, you're going to give him 30% more tenacity. If you're going to Omega his basic ability, he's going to get 30% more damage on his basic, and the priority Omega here is going to be on his special Steady. This gives the specific Imperial Trooper ally component of protection recovery and the Retribution Up buff. So very good to Omega this ability for sure. So now let's pivot, since we just finished talking about the kit, and talk about what Range Trooper can bring to your roster. And in Territory Wars, we'll talk about that first, and then we'll talk about the Sith raid. You're going to be able to increase the depth of your Empire and Imperial Troopers in TW. So there was a recent squad that was a pretty good counter for Darth Traya teams, and it revolved around using Thrawn and Magma Trooper and Death Trooper, Imperial Probe Droid, and Director Krennic. And that is a good squad, but now we can actually spread ourselves a little bit more thin and come up with 3 different teams instead of the previous 2. A quick tip for having success with this team is right before you're about to take out Darth Sion, you're going to want to make sure that the rest of your characters on the team are ready to burst down a bunch of other of the Sith characters on the opposing side of the field. So there's an Emperor Palpatine, there's a Darth Traya, there's a Darth Nihilus, and my recommendation is to go for Emperor Palpatine and Darth Traya right away. And you're going to be able to do this because Snow Trooper brings some momentum. After you kill an enemy, he's going to give a bunch of turn meter to your Empire allies, and you still have that capability of reducing the turn meter with Magma Trooper. So save a special with him as well, and you'll be able to quickly take out the rest of the team. Once it's down to just Darth Nihilus and Sith Trooper, you should be able to overwhelm them since it's still going to be a 4v2 or a 5v2. If you're going to want to take out one of the characters on this team, I would highly recommend keeping Magma Trooper and Shore Trooper here and taking out either the Range Trooper or the Snow Trooper. And you would only do this because you find yourself spread a little bit too thin on one of your remaining Empire or Imperial Trooper teams in TW. So if you find your Imperial Trooper team a little bit too spread thin, a little bit too weak, then you can put in another Imperial Trooper there and it'll help, dramatically increase the strength of that team. Keep in mind that General Veers, Colonel Stark, and one other Imperial Trooper actually can take out a meta Night Sister team if you see that in TW, or to quickly take out a weakened team that already has lost one or two heroes in the match. So you don't need to have a full team of 5 Imperial Troopers to still get some offensive victories in TW. And the cool thing here is that now we can actually put Imperial Probe Droid on maybe a Jedi Training Array squad or a droid squad, or with Emperor Palpatine, because Palpatine can quickly activate the capability of Probe Droid using his exploding capability, and you're able to use your Death Trooper and Director Krennic. You're saving those two important characters and either putting them on a defensive squad or another offensive squad. They have strong synergy with one another, and not requiring them to be on this specific team allows yourself to be spread a little bit more effectively and be more efficient in territory wars. So this arena battle is pretty much over, so we're going to go ahead and skip into the final topic, which is the Sith Raid and Range Trooper. How does Range Trooper help to improve your performance in the Sith Raid? So one quick thing that you want to know, so we're all on the same page, you can only use one character once in the entire heroic Sith Raid. The only character that you can use more than once is Hermit Yoda if he escapes. He has a special mechanic, so he can potentially escape if he's the last character surviving. It's kind of difficult in phase 1, but not too bad to do in the other phases. Now I'm highlighting this screenshot here because I'm showcasing 2 variants of the 2 strongest teams for phase 2 and for phase 3 currently in the heroic Sith Raid. So the first team, we have a Boba Fett and a General Kenobi led team, and both of these 2 variants are basically there to support Wampa to do huge damage. Wampa on his own can do 2 million or more damage under the right circumstances for this team. Now I'm highlighting these 2 variants because they use Grand Admiral Thrawn, which is a great PvE Empire leader. You can run Imperial Troopers under Thrawn and have great success, so that's important to keep in mind. We don't have access to our Grand Admiral Thrawn if we're currently running or building towards one of these 2 teams. The second team here is the Chex Mix team. This is the benchmark team for phase 3. Ever since my guildmate Snake theory crafted this team a long time ago, to this date there has yet to be another team that does better than this one. So we definitely don't want to be taking out crucial characters out of this team. The best 2 variants ended up being Pow and Jedi Knight Anakin. There are a bunch of other different combinations, but those are the 2 best ones, and both of them use Death Trooper. So he is a great Imperial Trooper, and so we don't have access to using Death Trooper. If you want to use Death Trooper and get even more damage with your Range Trooper and the rest of your Imperial Troopers, go ahead and do so, but keep in mind this will basically break the Chex Mix team. You won't have access to being able to use it. So now that we talked about that, now let's take a look at the Sith Raid footage together. So now I'm going to showcase some gameplay of Range Trooper against Darth Sion in the heroic Sith Raid. This is phase 4 under a General Veers lead. So something very cool is that you can actually take out both the Sith Marauder and the Sith Assassin, both the left and the right side mobs, before Darth Sion even takes a turn. And you can get all these buffs up, including the Retribution buff from Range Trooper. Now watch what happens when Darth Sion opens up with his his very first turn. He's going to start off with that AoE, area of effect attack, and since you have retribution, all of your troopers are going to smack him right back. This is also helpful because now you have access to an extra blue unbreakable will shield since we took out the side mobs, and then Sion respawned more side mobs with an extra blue shield. So now we're up to 1, 2, 3 unbreakable will shields, and that's going to help us later on in the match. So now I want to quickly talk about modding. So if you're going to mod the Imperial Troopers to do well and succeed in PvE content, that's stuff like territory battles and the Sith raid here, you're going to want to actually make your Imperial Troopers a little bit more offensive. So typically in other modes like TW or Arena, you would focus on making them actually a little bit more survivable, like protection crosses, but in the PvE content, you actually want to run offense primary crosses, and for your 4-piece set, you want to run crit damage or a offense 4-piece set so you can do more damage. So out of all of these Imperial Troopers, the only Imperial Trooper that I actually went ahead and modded them in that way was Range Trooper himself. The other 4 Imperial Troopers are actually running speed sets, so there's going to be more damage potential. Of course, we also talked about maybe if you want to do even more damage, you could put in Death Trooper on the team. The combination of the extra assist abilities with Range Trooper and Death Mark will definitely significantly increase the damage output, but overall in the Sith raid, you're basically destroying the Chex Mix team, so it's not worth it to take out Death Trooper from that team and put him on this one. So that is the damage discussion and modding quick mini discussion about that. Now let's quickly take a look at the damage screenshot. So here is the damage screenshot. So overall I did 700,000 damage, so that was with mainly speed mods, and I probably could have squeezed in a little bit more damage because basically I only played with these guys for a very short amount of time. So combining the lack of critical damage mods and maybe being able to squeeze in a little bit more damage, potentially you might be able to get close to 1,000,000 damage with these guys, which is pretty darn good against Sion. Since we're facing off against Sion, you could actually also put these guys in phase 2 and face Sion over there, and actually probably do even better as well because there's a third side mob. There's an extra Sith Marauder, and you can capitalize on gaining extra turn meter, buffs, and protection since there's an extra unit to kill. So that's also promising as well. Overall, I liked Range Trooper. He didn't do a lot of damage himself, but a lot of his damage potential is with the extra attacks that the Imperial Troopers are doing, and that's not factored into his overall damage. And something that is basically unquantifiable is that he brings a bunch of protection recovery and put the protection up as well to the Imperial Troopers, which actually helps the team make it to the in-range. Beforehand, if you wanted to run a General Veers led Imperial Trooper team, you couldn't even make it to the in-range, and I did so in this battle. So overall, Range Trooper is, I think a decent character. Let me know down in the comments what you think this guy is. Is he ranked, is he an average character? Is he a game-breaking character? 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 10? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video or if you found it informative and enjoyable, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel and hit that bell. It helps the channel grow. And yeah, I think that's about it for the Range Trooper. Might do another video on him. I'm not quite sure. If you have any ideas of what you would like to see with the Range Trooper, also let me know down in the comments below, and I will see everyone in my next video. Have some good stuff for you guys coming up later this week. Cheers.
The Force will be with you, always.